You're watching the Manny Fraser Show, where men over 40 learn how to lose fat, build muscle, and dominate life without wasting time on BS. Alright, so we're at the mock meet for today. So I'm mic'd up. I want to sit down and talk about like a couple things in terms of where we're at. So this is what's happening behind me. We got an outdoor meet, so it'll be fun. But definitely, I'm gonna come on, and the main thing I want to talk about today is how to get or focus on your one-rep max, how to prepare in terms of mental toughness, and then the biggest thing would be like how to be able to make sure that you're able to hit every single number that you put yourself through. So I'll be mic'd up through this and have fun. So my openers are for the squats 450. I'm gonna be working up to 507 today. Main goal is to see where we're at. I'm gonna actually work up to 510 today to see where we're at in terms of my lifts. I feel ready. I feel as good as it possible could. Pretty fun in terms of what we're doing. We're going to be working up in terms of rack height instead of weight. I mean, that's fun. So I'm at the end at 450 to opener. And then the biggest thing in terms of what I'm looking at with my opener is just getting a weight that I know that I can do without struggling, without really just killing myself. The main goal is not to kill yourself in the beginning. The main goal is to make sure that you're able to do everything. So that's it for right now. I'm gonna come back in a bit. Alright, so I just did my first attempt. That didn't go out well. I hit it, but it definitely felt heavier. It's been a while since I lifted this kind of weight. So the good thing is that, like I said, throwing in a mock meet, putting it in the amount of people that are here. It's like 16 people lifting, so it's fun. But definitely, we'll see how I do in the second attempt. I got it at 480, so we'll see how that goes. I gotta get my head in the game. Alright, so I just finished off my squat. I bombed at 500. Well, but definitely I know I need to work on. I got down to the hole, which is good. I trusted my spotters, which is also good. The biggest thing I gotta work on is working on getting out of the hole. So for the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna work on that and get that to the next level. Because I definitely know that I got I'd say 525 in the tank for November. Not peaked. Definitely don't feel 100%, but feeling good. Bench is gonna go up, and then we're gonna end up going into deadlift. So all in all, good meet, fun times. It's definitely a good vibe. All right. All right, go. All right, so I did my 365 bench. You can see the video. Butt came up. That's okay. Unsanctioned meet. No need to work on in terms of leg drive, especially my bench press. The Larson press is what I'm going to add for that. And I'm really going to spend the next couple weeks when I prep for nationals to keep my butt down and continue that leg drive. Cause I know if I can continue that leg drive, 365, 375, easy. doing 405, you got it. All right, so time for the deadlift. This is gonna be fun. My main goal when I'm thinking about the deadlift is the focal point is just lift it, like rip and, I don't say rip and rip. Don't think too much and just go. All right, catch it. All right, so let's talk about that last lift, my deadlift. So my goal was to pull 585 on that mock meet, and it definitely was, it got off the ground. So right away, because it got off the ground, I knew what my weakness was, because that was my second attempt at 585. And there's two ways to look at it, right? My max in comp is 617. Now, I've pulled 585, 595 multiple times to the point where I'm like, okay, I got this. And so when I wasn't able to pull it, there's two things that I look at as factors. One is my rest and recovery. So for the last little bit, what's changed in my life is me and my wife have been weaning my son off of breast milk. So what's happened is I'm not sleeping in my bed right now. I'm sleeping in the same bed as my son to keep him out of our room, and the sleep is not as good. I am going to sleep a little bit later, and I'm waking up a lot earlier every single day because he's waking me up because he wants milk in the morning, and I gotta take him away from that. So my sleep's been, let's just say, not good for the last couple weeks. That plays into a factor when it comes into my testing of my heart max, because fatigue would be that fatigue management, or fatigue, it would be that factor. And it would come across in my lift that I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I'm able to pick this up because I got off the ground. But the main issue was that. So in this training block, I added a speed deadlift day into my bench day. And I think I'm gonna make that a deficit speed deadlift day, just because I need to start working off getting off, not off the ground, but pull it off of the risers, right? And not pull off the risers, sorry. That middle ground sticking point, right? And I find with me, two things that really help is, one, speed deadlifts, obviously, but two is putting myself on that deficit where I raise myself up just a little bit and increase that range of motion in varying degrees, which changes the variable. So it's definitely something that I have to be able to work on, which is increasing getting myself to do deficit deadlifts to work on that. And then the next thing, which is the biggest thing when it comes down to deadlifting, which is once you get over a certain amount of deadlift, and that deadlift, let's say any number over 500, generally it's just grip it and rip it. And I mean, like, I can go into all these different factors of all little things I need to work on, and those worked when I had to go from like 3 to 4 and then 4 to 5. But when you go like 5 plus, 6 plus, let's say 6 plus, it's all heavy. It all feels heavy, and it never feels light. Like, and I mean, like, you can yell out like baby, like Ronnie Coleman, but it's still heavy. So definitely, I would say the number one thing I'm going to work on over the next 12 weeks would be my deficit deadlifts, and then adding some block pulls in there as well, and just really working on the mental side of the game, because I think that's another factor, and my fatigue management, obviously. So like working on my sleep factor for the next 12 weeks, especially as I get closer to nationals. I want to make sure that I get really good sleep to prevent any injury. I'm also doing a lot more kettlebells as a cardio. I'll put another video out about that, which is just like how to utilize cardio, how to get the zone 2 cardio without having to walk on a treadmill. So I'll put another video out on that. But I just wanted to talk about that because I know that throughout the entire video you're watching me go through my, I didn't get a video of my squat. This is actually 2 weeks later of making this video. But I wanted to recap. I was watching the video and I saw myself and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see where I gotta work on, and I want to talk about that like with a fresher pair of eyes. Also, I'll put a video up where I went to a clinic with Ken Kanakin, Chris Fudge, and a bunch of other powerlifters. I'm sorry, I don't remember all their names, but I know those two guys really well, so that's why I'm mentioning them. And we worked on my deadlift technique, squat, and bench, and they gave me cues based off of those techniques. The cues have been really good. I'll talk about those as well. Basically, a bunch of cues that I was able to get during it, and I'll in my next series of mic'd up with Manny, I'll talk about that in terms of what's my cue for my squat, what's my cue for my bench, what's my cue for my deadlift. Now, mind you, these are my cues that work for myself, that are based off of me, where I'm at, right? You can take them and see if they apply to you, but who knows? But this is my powerlifting journey. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. If this hit you hard like it should, hit subscribe, drop a comment, and watch the next video. Don't just get fit, get powerful.